Previously on missions to make stuff. Our noble hero Emmett is confronted by himself from the future. And a ghost from his past.
It's just a random synth from Fallout 4. Nothing to be afraid of.
Unfortunately, I know what it actually is, and I need you to try again.
Oh, alright.
Will he be able to conquer his fears and rebound from this terrible mistake? Meanwhile, older Emmett desperately searches the wasteland for a safe place to hide from that which chases him, the dreaded time ostriches. But oh no! How can this be? Whoa! Why are there two narrations going at once? That doesn't make any sense. Don't you know this type of thing is dangerous? You could create a paradox, tear a hole in both time and space, and escape the clutches of his many enemies. Well, if this loon's just gonna keep on jabbering, then I'm gonna take the wife and kids on a much-needed vacay. Later, chumps. The true meaning of friendship. Well, those answers and more when we return.
So, I have two different options for the jacket material, and I have two different... No! What happened? What's going on? What happened?
I was surrounded. I had to fight my way to freedom. But I did it, little one.
But what did it cost?
Everything.
Oh my gosh, your HP levels are low. We need to do something.
No. Just stand back.
Well, that's a big needle. What are you gonna do with
Oh!
Older Ed?
Wow! These stem packs are miracles of science! I've been underestimating chems this entire time. Thanks, friend, it's been a blast. But this has given me an idea, so I gotta go.
Huh. Where was I? Right. This was the fabric I was working on the first time around. I think what I did to it was I took several colors of food coloring and I just went drip, 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 and then bleached it. I'm not sure why, but I was never really satisfied with how it came out. I think it either just looked too blotchy or not colored enough. Yeah, like I don't know if you can see it, but there's just this red blotch right here. The alternative is this, which I've just been working on now. I can't remember what I did to it to make it look yellow. I know I sanded it down and my sandpaper is yellow, but this is like actually colored yellow. Pretty sure these are from the same cloth actually, so that shows the difference. Maybe. I don't know if you can see it. It is a little bit more yellow than Nick's coat, but it does have a certain trench coat quality which works for a private detective. One of my main issues that I was foreseeing with weathering it too much while it's just all one piece like this was not knowing if the weathering would line up once I actually sew it together. I don't always put that much detail into the clothing, but I like to if I can. So I'm hoping that maybe if I sew it together first and then I do a little more weathering and like say I might bleach it while it's sewed together, then maybe the color would linger around the seams and it'll look more naturally faded. That's the theory anyway, so I guess it's time to put it to practice. Okay, I decided to go all in with the jacket even though it may end up being one of my more complicated clothing builds. I'm still deciding how many pieces I want to make, but I have the sleeves and the back sewn together now. I'm still trying to figure out how to cut out the front piece that's gonna also be attached to the lapel and collar. Then I'm gonna have a piece kind of go on the shoulders and back to cover up the gaps. One thing that's tricky is that I need to get it in the first shot because I just barely have enough fabric left. Oh boy, I hope I'm doing this right. Sewing things inside out is really tricky. And I didn't do that right. Well, I sewed the sleeve on the wrong way. I thought to sew the sleeve on correctly, I needed to turn it inside out, or turn it right side in. I sewed it inside out. And when I did that, the seam busted out. So I turned the other one inside out because I knew that one of them, I thought maybe I sewed it too close to the edge. And then the other one busted out too, so. I really hope I don't run out of fabric before I do this, but I think I have enough to redo the sleeves at least. So I sewed the sleeves together and I didn't fail. Yay! Now onto the rest of the coat. Okay, so I got that much of the coat sewed together and I cut out the pieces of... No. Seriously? I forgot to flip the pattern, so I cut out the wrong side, and that's the last of that fabric too. Okay, time to dye more fabric. Well, at least now I can take some time to explain to you my dyeing process. Normally I mix some food coloring into water and soak the fabric in that. But like I said, I didn't remember doing anything to this, even though it looks fairly obviously yellow. My theory was that the sandpaper somehow tinted it, but I didn't really see how that would work, especially since with this new piece I tried doing that first, and it didn't really do anything. So I moved on to the next idea I had, to bleach it. If I ever use bleach from the laundry room, I water it down a lot. But we also have the spritzy bleach cleaner. That is what I usually use because it's convenient. I can just grab it, go psst, psst, and just, yeah, that's it. So then I had the idea to scrub it with sandpaper while the bleach was still damp. And much to my sort of surprise, the bleach made the yellow and the sandpaper bleed out onto the fabric, which is what dyed it yellow. I'm surprised at how well that worked, actually. And now I know an easy way to dye something yellow. Yo, ostriches!
Take this!
What? Oh no, no!
Okay, let's see. Does this match? Nope.
Oh.
What? Everything okay?
Hi.
Hi? What are you working on? I'm working on the fabric for this coat.
Ah, well that's cool. Yeah. Say, you wouldn't happen to have any chems on you, would you?
Nope.
Okay, well, tell you what. I need you to drop what you're doing right now, and I'm gonna show you how to make chems.
Why?
Because if you start this now, by the time this all echoes down to me, I'll have an entire stockpile of buff jet.
Wait, buff jet?
Yeah, I took a cooking class, and I learned how to mix drugs.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I think you may have a problem.
I know. I don't know what else to do.
Well, is there someone you can talk to? Some treatment out there? I mean, what are your options?
Well, there is Addictol.
What's that?
It's a chemical you take to cure your addictions.
Wait, so you take a drug to get rid of your addiction to drugs?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Huh. Well, if it works, I guess you should go buy some of that.
Oh.
Right. I can't. Why not? I kinda blew all my money on guns and drugs.
Oh no.
Guns and drugs. Drugs and guns. They make the world go round in the wasteland. Okay, you know what? I don't think I like this wasteland idea anymore. Are you sure that all of this is really worth escaping the ostriches?
What? I didn't escape the ostriches. They found me right off the bat.
What? Well, what happened?
I killed them. I killed them all. And not just the men. The women and children, too. The entire mob ostrich family.
That does it. Here.
What's that?
This is a refreshing beverage. You are going to drink this, and you are going to make yourself better.
Oh, all right. I guess it's worth a try.
Good. Now just let me get the bottle cap off first.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Okay, just take it, man. Just take it. Okay, good. What? No!
What?
Don't just hork it down. Savor the goodness. Savor it, man. When did this turn into a Disney movie? That really was refreshing. Thank you. You've given me a new lease on life. I feel like a new man. I'm as giddy as a schoolboy. I'm as light as a feather. You there, lad. What day is today? Tuesday. Tuesday! Ha! Brilliant! Here, boy, have a tuppence. This is a bottle cap. Go buy yourself a pigeon, or feed the balloons, or go fly a kite, or whatever it is people do when they feel alive. As for me, I'm going back into the wasteland to spread the news of this refreshing beverage all over the Commonwealth. Thanks again, friend, and I'll see you later. Peace. Good luck. Here you go, Mr. Druggy Dude. Here you go, Kate. Here you go, Doc. Do some good with it. Here you go, Tinker Tom, and don't try and tell me you haven't been on the chems lately. Here you go, Cart. Here you go, random guy trying to kill me. Here you go, random ghoul in the city. Here you go, random ghoul in the street. Oh my gosh, you're feral. Well, I hope his refreshing beverage crusade goes well. Anywho, it took me a while, but I have a piece of fabric that I think matches close enough. Part of why it took me a while was because I have 3 different pairs of cargo pants that I've been cutting up for a little while now, and they're each slightly different shades of tan. And since I couldn't remember which one I used for the original piece of fabric, I decided to go ahead and dye them all to see what looked the best. I came pretty close to being finished with the first couple of pieces, but then this happened. I don't really understand what happened exactly. My best guess is that something about the bleaching process rendered the fabric very brittle. Or, I don't know if brittle is the word, but easily terrible. And dusty. The problem with that theory is that I did the same thing to this piece of fabric, and it... maybe I shouldn't do this? Well, I guess if it's gonna tear, it's better that it tears now than when I try to sew it. Okay, yeah, that's good. But yeah, I mean, this is like I'm tearing Kleenex, basically. That's kind of ridiculous. Anywho, I have a piece that matches, so it's time to finish what I started. So I'm gonna cut out the final piece that I need, being very careful to flip the pattern. Because if I mess this up again, that would be unfortunate. So, got those last pieces sewed on. I don't know for sure if it needs this. I'm tempted to glue a little bit of a ridge on this piece just to make it a little bit longer and kind of give it, even though it doesn't look like that's how it is on the picture, but that could give it kind of like a fastening seam, sort of. I think I sewed it on a little too high, and the collar and lapel are up a little higher than they should be, but I'm definitely not going to try and undo the seam, so I'll just have to work with it. Next, I'm going to glue the collar and lapel into the folded positions that they need to be in. Then kind of like glue the collar pieces together kind of behind the neck, and then put a shoulder piece kind of over everything to tie it all together. I may need to sew that shoulder piece to the shoulder of the sleeve a little bit, but I'm not sure how exactly to do that while hiding the seam. Unless I don't want to hide the seam, because there are places where it's been patched or sewn with different colored thread, because you know, it's a post-apocalyptic coat, of course it's going to look kind of weathered. And it's easy for me to imagine that the shoulders could give out if you're going around fighting gangster zombies. I'll see what I want to do when I get there. I'm liking that. In the end, I probably didn't need to put these extra flaps on, because it does come around his body enough. But no harm done, because it still looks like a detective coat. I'm not sure what all I want to do with weathering. My original plan was to bleach it a little more, but with as much trouble as I had the last time trying to bleach things, I'm not sure if I want to risk messing it up. Might still try to scuff it up a little bit, and definitely put those patches on there to make it look all beat up and re-sewn. Then after that, it's probably ready for the face. I thought of something to do to stall. Kill time while the coat is drying. I spritzed it with some more bleach and soaked it in water. Hopefully I didn't turn it into this, because that would stink. In the meantime, Nick needs a weapon. Pretty sure he just has a pipe revolver, so that should be a simple build. Basically just a handle, a cylinder, and a barrel. I'm gonna use a mix of cardstock and toothpicks. And I may even wrap the handle in duct tape to give it that extra boost of post-apocalyptictivity. Post-apocalyptictivity? Post-apocalyptictivity. Post-apocalyptictivity? Post-apocalyptictivity. Post-apocalyptictivity. Post-apocalypticness. You know what I mean. So I've realized something. While I'm waiting for the coat to dry, I might as well go ahead and give him a face. As you're well aware, this is where I went wrong the first time, and this is what I've been dreading this time around. But even with that mess up on my record, I'm still confident in my skills not to screw things up this time. I'm gonna keep things a little simpler and just have it be a tweaked version of what I normally do for faces, which is just wrap foam around it. I'm gonna go somewhat incrementally just to make sure I'm taking things as cautiously as I can. So step 1, cut out 2 pieces of foam. One for the face and one for the back of the head. I'm gonna do the back of the head first because it's simpler. Then I'm gonna cut out the shape of the face using a very sharp X-Acto knife. I'm probably gonna cut out the eyes while I'm here too, and glue on the nose. Then I'm gonna take the knife and make little cuts and nicks all over the face so that he looks beat up and old. It looks good. I glued the face on and kind of carved it out a little bit with the X-Acto knife. It looks fine. It looks good. Just part of me was hoping that after my first mess up, I could just kind of rebound to the point where I'm like, I blew myself away and made it look exactly like Nick. It doesn't look too much like him, but I don't know how much to really expect of myself. Because normally I'm not a perfectionist, just with this one, I feel like to make up for my first attempt, I kind of need to impress myself, and I didn't necessarily do that. The problem is, if I let myself redo this face, because it's on there with hot glue, so I could just warm it up, peel it off, start over. The problem is, when would it end? If I let myself redo this face, would I ever be satisfied? I might see what it looks like with a few other details first before thinking about taking it off. Originally I wasn't going to add ears, but now I wonder if maybe it would help a little bit. Just any detail I can add, I feel like I should. Just to hopefully get a little bit closer to, my expectations. One of those details is a hat. I haven't been very good at making hats in the past, so I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do that. Just going to play around with it, see what happens. That could just be the finishing touch that it needs to really make him look like Nick. And even if it doesn't look that much like Nick, it looks a heck of a lot better than this thing. The first couple stabs at the hat didn't really go so well. The fabric just kept fighting with me. Just doesn't look quite right. So I decided to put that on hold a little bit and tinker around with the face some more. I didn't end up filming this part of the step because I didn't think it was really going to go anywhere. I just noticed that one side of his face was a little bit thinner. So I added a piece of foam to his cheekbone and started trimming it with the X-Acto knife. Then that actually worked surprisingly well, so I thought I might as well beef up his entire face. Because one thing that I thought looked weird about the first go was that it didn't look like a crusty old man robot. It looked like a young adult robot, and I don't know how exactly that happened, but I assume part of it was because of the skinnier features. So I added more and more foam onto it, always trimming it down as I went. At one point I went so far as to replace his entire upper lip because I thought his mouth was up too high. And at first I kind of questioned that decision because it looked kind of like a weird fleshy mustache, but I just kept trimming and it actually came out pretty good. I had to do some painting over it to blend in some of the cracks. It still needs a little bit more paint work done to the face, but I'll probably save that as a finishing touch to kind of bring him alive at the end. While I was working on his face, I had the bright idea to scrap the fabric scraps and make his hat out of foam. That kind of worked. It's probably the most natural looking of the three. It still doesn't quite fit on his head. But I'm not really sure I could get it any better unless I built a shrinking machine and shrunk down an actual hat. By that point, the coat was dry as well, so I went ahead and worked on that for a little bit. I cut it up, made little nicks and scratches here and there, and then sewed up some of them, putting patches on certain places where you see patches on the game. And I think it looks pretty good for a post-apocalyptic trench coat. There's still a few finishing touches I'm going to add to it. I need to add buttons in certain places and just some little, like, the shoulder strap type things. Like, I think he has a belt too. Just all those little touches that bring the details to life. You know what? I think it's starting to come together. I've got Nick, I've got Nick's coat, I've got his hat. Now it's just time to take everything and put it together. I've done it! He's alive! My very own synth detective. And I didn't fail at it either. Huh, he looks... Wait a minute, where did his hat go? Keep your hat on. Go. Darn it. I'm gonna need to tape this. Or I could just glue it. Like a weirdo. There. Now he's alive. I just thought of a final finishing touch to add. There. Now he is Mr. Gumshoe. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. How the heck does a robot smoke? Wow. Well, I definitely rebounded from my last try. What do you think, Skelly? Oh. Oh my. Really? Idolize. Is that right? Huh. Well, I mean, I'm flattered. But I don't know, does that seem a little bit extreme to you guys? You and I need to have a talk later on. Hello, me, my old friend. How's it going? Oh, hey, you're right on time. Wait, how is it that you always know exactly when to show up? I show up when I need to. It's time travel logic. Huh. Well, I got it done. Ooh, can I see it? Sure you can. Here it is! Don't be silly! You can't scare me with this thing! Ugh. That was worth a shot, I suppose. Here's the real thing. Ooh! It's shiny! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I just had to keep pushing myself till I achieved my goal. Achieving your goals sure is sweet. Almost as sweet as this refreshing beverage. You can't get addicted to that stuff, right? You think you could as much as I drink the stuff, but it's good for you, so that makes it okay. If you say so. Man. You okay there, pal? Yeah, I'm fine. Need a refreshing beverage? No, it's that... I'm good. I was just so worried that I was gonna mess it up again that now I'm still trying to grasp the fact that I succeeded. Well, grasp that fact, son. It worked. In fact, it worked so well, I think I'll take it off your hands. Off my hand? You mean like you'll buy it? Why, of course. Here you go, sonny. You've earned it. Okay, am I missing something here? What is with all the bottle caps? What sector are you living in? Those things are currency. Oh. But are they worth anything, though? Well, not technically, but when you really think about it, neither are paper bills, and you still use those. Ooh, burn. So I guess I should just start a collection of bottle caps in case the apocalypse comes early. Tell you what, you want something that's really valuable in the apocalypse? Here you go. Toilet paper? You'd better believe it, come the apocalypse, that stuff can save your life. Or it can get you killed. It really just depends on who needs to go and how badly. Well, I guess that makes sense. You know all those horror stories Dad used to tell about farmers using corn cobs back in the day? Uh-huh. Well, that ain't got nothing on some of the things I've seen. Ugh. Lucky for me, I have time travel on my side, so if the urge ever arises, I can just bloop on back to a supermarket and do my business there. Oh, okay, TMI, dude. Too much, that's... Ah, you're absolutely right! Saying too much about the future could compromise the continuum. That being said, it is imperative that you remember this. Should society fail, that, and that alone, will mean the difference between civilization and a mad rabble of constipated goons. Is that a fact? And with that out of the way, there's something to admit. Those refreshing beverages are surprisingly effective laxatives. Oh gosh. See ya! So what do you make of all this, Skelly? Wow. That's actually kind of deep. You know, Skelly, old boy, I don't think I've shown you enough appreciation. You're a pretty good friend. Let's just maybe set down a few more boundaries moving forward. Think that'll be okay? Well, good. I'm glad we had this talk. Now that is refreshing. I feel like there's a little something that's missing. Ooh. Oh! Hello there. I didn't see you there. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, like how I like this refreshing beverage, maybe you could watch some more. I have a few. Maybe leave a comment and regale us with your own wasteland wanderings. If you're into that kind of thing, that is. And maybe even subscribe. I'm always working on something, though sometimes it does take me longer than I'm expecting. What are you doing?
So what?
Whoops. I better get going. Huh. Well, that was weird.